You know, a question I don't think gets asked very often is, when is the best time to move to Mexico? Is there actually a best time to move to Mexico? Keep watching. In this video, I'm going to share some tips to help you decide when is the best time for you to move to Mexico. Hello everyone, my name is Mariana and you are watching Mexico Relocation Guide, where we give you all the right tips and all the good advice to help you move to Mexico the right way. In today's video, I want to share with you a couple of tips and advice on when is the best time to move to Mexico. It can help you avoid some frustrations, save you some money, and ultimately help you decide how to plan your move to Mexico. Now, a lot of people choose to live in Mexico only part-time. And usually when they come to Mexico from either northern the United States or Canada, it's to escape the colder months in those regions. Now, usually that means that there's a surge, right, in people coming to Mexico all of a sudden part-time. And those months tend to be anywhere between November all the way through April. You may know them as snowbirds, you may know them as something else, but these are people usually who come to Mexico part-time to escape the colder months. And when that happens, there's a sudden surge of people renting and not a lot of inventory left in the market. So what ends up happening? Some landlords will end up raising their prices and you will end up paying more for the same rental that you would have gotten had you rented it sometime in April, May, June, or even going into August. Now this is obviously depending on what part of Mexico you're moving to, what inventory there is in that market, right? Like what the marketplace looks like currently, and then obviously the seasonality. So it doesn't apply to everywhere in Mexico, but it's definitely way more common in the areas where a lot of expats tend to live. Areas like Puerto Vallarta, Ajijic, Chapala, Huatulco, Playa del Carmen, and Los Cabos. Now the high season for rentals, for long-term rentals anyway in Mexico, tends to go from November all the way through April, with the busiest months usually being December, January, February, all the way through March. Usually because when March comes around, that's springtime in the northern states, and the weather starts getting nicer in Canada and the northern US, so a lot of people end up moving back. And it absolutely makes sense. With the coldest months of January, February, or March being up north, it really makes sense for people to want to migrate to an area where the weather is simply nicer. So the beaches in Mexico tend to have 80-degree weather, and then the Central Highlands are somewhere in the 80s and 70s throughout the day. So it really makes sense for people who are trying to escape some of the harshest cold weather up north. Now with all this in mind, April and May tend to be the best times to find rentals because a lot of people have left, so all of a sudden there's a surge in rentals available in the market. And usually this is a time that you can find not only more inventory, but more negotiating room in your rental agreement. Because if you know anything about markets, when demand is down, prices are down as well. Check out the link down below in the comments section. I've included some rental examples throughout Mexico. Now keep in mind, these are examples only. If you want to work with a really trustworthy and reputable real estate agent, we have a directory of our recommended contacts in our Complete Mexico Relocation Guide. I'll include the link in the comments down below. If you love it at its worst, then you'll love it at its best. And what I mean by that is if you can withstand, right, being in the hottest time of the year, whether you're at the beach or the Central Highlands, then you're gonna enjoy so much the cooler climate when the rain comes. Or at least it's a big reason why I recommend that you move to Mexico between April, May, and June. You get to experience what it's like when it's truly hot in Mexico. And if you like it then you'll love it when it's cooler. The temperatures in the Central Highlands can be anywhere between 80 to 90 degrees when it hasn't rained. And considering that this area doesn't tend to have air conditioners in most homes, it can be very hot. So if you're very sensitive to this, I really recommend that you visit this area at its hottest month. If you're very sensitive to it and you're going to be buying a home or even renting, you could always look into a mini split or air conditioner that can help you cool off. Luckily, when you open up a few windows, have a ceiling fan going, and sip some cold water, it really can be bearable. Now for the beach areas, it's a little bit different because You're probably moving to the beach because you like the heat. And usually, even though May and June, July tend to be some of the hottest months, most places that you'll rent or buy for that matter will probably have at least one air conditioner or mini split in the main bedroom. So for most of you, you're probably moving to the beach areas though because you're looking forward to the heat. And hey, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. That way you get to see content just like this where we give you tips and advice on moving to Mexico. And also, don't forget to subscribe. That way you never miss out on a Mexico relocation guide video in the future. So I hope this helps you plan ahead, because even if you don't move to Mexico in either April, May, or June, you'll at least know these things, or at least have them in mind when you do come. And just know that there may be seasonality in whatever rental you find, depending on the time of year that you come, or depending also on the region of Mexico that you're moving to. I would love to know your feedback though, your comments. Does this help? Is this something that you hadn't considered before? Did you learn something new? I hope you did. My name is Mariana. You are watching Mexico Relocation Guide, and I'll see you in the next video. Nos vemos.